Imagine this. You're just, picking up groceries. Totally normal errand. And then suddenly things shift.
Right.
That simple task becomes this real battle of wills over something seemingly small.
Happens more than you think.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into an audio source that captures exactly that kind of situation. It's a trip to Walmart that kind of spiraled.
Yeah, it escalated into this pretty profound discussion about rules, authority, and even, personal liberty.
So let's unpack this fascinating encounter.
Okay. Our mission today is really to explore what happened. We'll look at the immediate conflict, sure, but also the specific policies and laws they were debating.
And then the bigger picture stuff.
Exactly. The really interesting part is the broader philosophical frame that the person in our source used to interpret the whole thing. You'll hear how just a simple interaction can, well, spark a much larger conversation.
About compliance, maybe, and freedom.
Precisely. Compliance and perceived freedom.
All right, let's set the scene then. As you said, it starts pretty mundanely.
Mhm.
Our source, this recording, puts us right in a Walmart checkout line. There's a father and his daughter, Anna. They're trying to buy a microbrew.
Seems simple enough.
But yeah, what seemed like a routine purchase took a very sharp turn very quickly.
That's right. The father, he describes his daughter Anna. She was helping him load the cart.
Just pitching in.
Yeah, and in the process, her hands, well, they touched the box of beer, just brushed against it, apparently.
Okay, it's seemingly tiny action.
Totally innocent, you'd think. But it immediately drew the cashier's attention.
So what was the flashpoint? How did the cashier actually react to Anna touching the beer?
Well, according to the man's account in the source, the cashier just declared, "That's it," just like that.
Wow, okay.
Then she apparently removed the alcohol from the cart, unscanned it, and flat out refused the sale.
And her reasoning.
Her stated reason was, you're not allowed to let your daughter touch that. And then she immediately called for management.
And she claimed it was law.
Yes, asserting, this is the law. Very confidently, it seems.
Okay, so the cashier says the law, but our source, the man, he didn't buy that.
No, not at all. He immediately challenged it. He states emphatically in the recording, no, that's not the law.
He was quite firm on that point.
Very. And he wanted to clarify his own stance, too. He talked about moderation and principle, not being drunker and teaching kids character.
So his objection wasn't really about wanting the beer itself.
That's what he suggests. It was about the principle. He argues there's no law that a minor cannot pick up alcohol. That's simply not the law.
And he distinguished between policy and law.
Clearly. He said, no, that's a Walmart policy. It's not a state law. He even offered right there to look up the state law. He mentioned the RCW specifically.
The revised code of Washington, so he knew the specific statutes.
Seems like it. Or at least knew where to look.
And the source mentions the interaction got pretty tense.
Oh, yeah.
He apparently told the Walmart employees, "You guys are making a scene. It's embarrassing and unacceptable." That quote really sticks out.
It does. It really highlights the friction in that moment, doesn't it? How quickly things escalated from a simple transaction disagreement.
Definitely. But then it goes somewhere else entirely.
Right. This is where the deep dive truly begins, I think, because the man in our source, he takes this specific incident, this denied beer sale.
And connects it to something much bigger.
Much bigger. He explicitly states, this is about slavery.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge jump. Slavery. How does he connect a denied beer purchase at Walmart to slavery?
Well, his framing, as presented in the source, is that this is about conditioning people that they are slaves.
Conditioning them. How?
He links it to, well, government and also large corporations who are in their pocket. And he argues they're enforcing what? They're enforcing compliance.
Compliance again.
Oh, exactly. He sees this specific incident and others he mentions as a deliberate effort, a way to condition people to accept fake authority.
To just comply without asking questions.
That's the idea he puts forward. It's quite a libertarian perspective, seeing these, let's say, small-scale rules as part of a much larger system of control.
And he had another example to back this up, right? From the source.
Yes, he does. He mentions a previous time he was at Walmart.
What happened then?
His wife was with him, and he was the one buying beer. But the employees demanded to see her ID, too.
Even though she wasn't buying it.
Right. And he states, again, there is no law for this. He ties these two events together.
And the connection he makes is?
He asserts the underlying goal, as he sees it, is to create this system where, quote, even the lowly Walmart clerk have the right to order people around and try to pretend like they're bad parents.
That's a strong claim. And what happens if you resist this, in his view?
Well, he contends that if you stand up for yourself, if you push back,
You get labeled.
exactly, you're made out to be the crazy. Like, how dare you question the authority of the system?
He sees it as systemic.
Yes, he calls it a systematic expansion of teaching people that if you do not comply, you will suffer. Comply with anyone in uniform, anyone official.
And he broadens this out even further, doesn't he? Beyond just store interactions.
He does. He brings up wider societal issues to support his point. Things like political prisoners all over the country, not being able to sell raw milk, a lack of due process.
And his conclusion from all that.
He concludes, that's not America, that's a third world country. Now, it's really crucial here to state, of course,
Yeah, we need to be clear.
we are simply reporting on the viewpoints that are expressed in the source material we're analyzing. We're not endorsing these views ourselves.
Absolutely. Understanding his perspective is key to understanding his actions, but it's his perspective from the source.
Precisely.
So given these strong feelings of this whole philosophical framework he's built, what did he actually do after that heated exchange in the store? Did he just leave?
No, he didn't just walk away. He took a really crucial next step, according to the recording. He says he just called Walmart corporate. Went straight to the top, essentially.
Okay. And what was the verdict from corporate? Did they back up the store's stance on the policy or the law?
Well, this is interesting. According to the man in our source, Walmart corporate told him something very different.
No.
He says corporate specifically says if a minor touches it or puts it in the cart or something like that during the legal purchase, that they're not to deny the sale.
So corporate policy directly contradicted what happened in the store.
That's what he claims corporate told him. It directly contradicts the store's action and definitely the cashier's initial claim that it was the law.
That's a pretty significant piece of information for him to have. Must have felt like validation.
You'd imagine so. It really underscores his belief that he was fighting against, a fake rule as he saw it.
So armed with that confirmation from corporate, what did he do? How did he connect it back to his bigger ideas?
Well, he then really articulates his personal philosophy quite clearly. He tells us, the listeners of the source, maybe we need to start realizing that we need to teach our children principle and character rather than pretending that it comes from rules, regulations, and fake safety.
So character over rules.
That's the core of it. And he even throws down a challenge directly to Walmart.
What does he say?
He says, oh, in Walmart, if you really have such a moral problem with that glass of ale, maybe, just maybe, you should stop selling it.
Quite pointed.
Very. And then there's this moment in the recording, a very symbolic act.
The defiance part.
Yeah. He turns to his daughter, Anna, and says, here, Anna. Anna, go ahead, touch it. Go ahead and touch it. Touch it.
Wow. Making a very clear statement there.
Absolutely. Though, interestingly, he does immediately follow that up with all things in moderation.
Ah, okay, so there's a nuance there too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just about breaking rules for the sake of it.
Seems not. It adds a layer to his stance, doesn't it? Principle, defiance, but also moderation.
Yeah, it does. And how does he wrap things up in the source? What's his final takeaway?
He concludes with a really strong declaration of his worldview. He states his refusal, quote, to let my society, my government, or my store clerk treat me like a loser or like a criminal for standing up for what is right, for being independent-minded, and for not allowing every fake rule and law to be made a moral code.
And a final line about his own moral compass.
Yes. Jesus defines my moral code, not Walmart. Leaves no doubt where he stands.
So this whole deep dive, starting from just touching a beer box.
Yeah, into this single incident at, a regular retail store. It really provides a fascinating lens, doesn't it?
It really does.
You get to see these vastly differing interpretations of rules, of laws, of individual rights, all playing out.
And it shows how one person can take what seems like a minor inconvenience and connect it to this huge worldview about control, about freedom, about compliance.
Exactly. It really highlights those often unseen ideological sort of tensions that can simmer just beneath the surface of everyday life.
So thinking about this account, what really stands out to you, the listener? Have you ever had moments, maybe small ones, where a rule or a policy just made you stop and question the bigger systems?
Yeah, systems of authority or compliance, it's a common feeling, I think.
It makes you wonder, how do we navigate that line? The line between respecting the norms, the established rules, and standing up for what you truly believe is right.
It's not always easy.
No, definitely not. This deep dive certainly gives us plenty to think about. It reminds us that knowledge isn't just about learning facts, is it?
No, it's about the questions those facts make us ask, the really transformative questions.